This place is awfully quiet for a siege palace.
Such a huge place is spooky without all those people here.
They're probably waiting to ambush us.
With so few Renans here, I guess this is what it's like when the Danans are expelled and the ruling minority are all that's left. My money's on them using Zeugles to even the odds.
I don't even see any Danan guardsmen.
The fact that they're not at their stations tells me they really have been driven out. We all swore an oath of loyalty to Lord Dohalim. My fellow guards wouldn't abandon their post lightly.
Speaking of which, where the heck is he?
How could this be happening?
Any idea where we should go in the main building?
Let's try the Lord's chamber.
Worth a shot.
Hey Law, you can bust that wall open, can't you?
Well, let's give it a try and find out!
You sure about that? From what I hear, that thing can stop even a cannonball.
On second thought, let's see if there's a release mechanism somewhere.
Kisara, do you have any idea just what Kelzelik might be planning at the palace?
It's hard to say. I've never seen him use any powerful arts, and I don't think he's particularly skilled with any weapons either. However, I have noticed him accompanied by something strange from time to time.
What kind of strange?
I don't know. I couldn't see anything with him, but I could sense something was there. Probably some sort of Zeugle.
An invisible Zeugle?
We'd better be careful in any case. I'd rather we not find out after it jumps us and tries to rip our throats out.
Forgive you!
Severing wind!
I see one, eh?
Sword! Lunar Rondo!
Whoa, that freaking does it!
I will show you any mercy! Okay!
That freaking does it!
Its armor's too
Dion,
strong!
astral energy! Full throttle! Dance in the wind! Again, feel!
Eagle Fly!
That's my cue!
Crush you!
Shut him down!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm just getting started!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Sword!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
You know, the more I think about it, this palace is way too big for its own good.
Tell me about it. Plus, where the hell were these soldiers and Zeugles all this time?
Normally, the Zeugles are kept in specialized training facilities, and only get let out in cases of emergency.
Like this one, for instance? Give me a break. Way. Here we go!
Engaging!
Where are you going?
Nothing gets by me!
You're mine! Punch that gun out of your hand!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Fire in the hole!
One astral energy! Thunderblade!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Is that some kind of note the rebels left?
Hey, it mentions the release mechanism we're looking for, but
This isn't enough to go on.
An opponent like this should be easy. Armor won't save you! My shield! Double demon fang! Take down their defenses! Bring them down! We're not kidding! That freaking does it!
It's almost too strong!
Be like it! Does it! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
I'll heal you all!
He's dead!
Will this
You're mine!
Here!
Talon
Magna Ray!
Eagle Side!
Arch Steel! Raging Cascade! Magna Ray!
First strike! Severing Wind!
Air Drop!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Gotta break through! Engaging! Burn it out! Double demon fang! Here I come!
True gunslinger around here.
Now you'll learn!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Right.
Right.
my deal? Take this!
I'll take my revenge on you!
We're not finished! I see one, eh? We got flyers!
Let's go! Let him watch me! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Excited!
My turn!
Grab it
My
from the
turn!
We're ready!
Double demon fang!
Annihilate! Lightning orb! More with that kick!
Take this! Double demon fang!
Talon hurricane!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Get lost!
Ready and wrecked! Double demon now fang! You'll learn, damn it!
Lunar Dragon! More with that kick!
Talon hurricane!
A showdown between Blade and Steel.
Do it! Dance in the wind!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dance in the wind!
Double demon fang!
Lightning Blade! It's now!
Looks like we won.
I think this is a key to the noble room of the castle.
A noble what?
The room at the northern end of this floor. Maybe the release mechanism is in there.
Way.
Bring him down!
Double demon
I
fang!
never miss!
We're not
You
finished!
think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Get lost!
You'll pay for what you did!
It's over!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dance in the wind! Dragon
What's this?
I'll be saving this one.
All right. There are enemy forces here, too?
They must be predicting our movements and deploying accordingly.
So they figured we were coming all along, is that it?
Another note from the rebels.
If we combine it with the note we found before, then there should be a key inside a cabinet in the office.
Great. Let's see if we can find it.
No further!
Engaging! Dragon Force! I'm going in! Bring him down! Fall back! Win! I'm on a roll now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Even if Danans and Renans aren't on completely equal footing here, both sides still cared about each other. And now we have to fight some of those same Renans inside the palace.
Don't forget, we're here fighting to keep what makes this realm so special alive. Don't lose hope, Kisara.
I see what it is!
Slice your dreams! No
Do it! You're panicking!
Time's too strong.
Be my guest! Steven, I'm on it! Here I come! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Step back! This one's all law!
Did that finally get rid of the wall?
To think they would hide it in Lord Dohalim's personal quarters. The nerve of these people.
They won't get away with it for much longer.
That's right. We have to hurry to the Lord's chamber. Let's go.
Well, well, if it isn't the slaves and the traitor. I don't remember giving you permission to enter the palace.
So it's true. You really are the one behind all this, Kelzelik.
I don't remember giving you permission to speak either. Know your place, slave.
Now we see his true colors.
Yeah, a despicable excuse for a human being. Though really, I guess that makes him pretty ordinary, huh?
Kelzelik, you were Lord Dohalim's most trusted advisor. His closest ally. Why would you betray him?
Don't be a fool. I didn't serve him because I wanted to. I expect a mere slave wouldn't know, but there are many powerful contenders for the position of Lord. A contest of strength determines the one who will be Lord and undisputed ruler of a realm. There is no choice in the selection. If my master had any ambitions of becoming the sovereign, I would have gladly served him.
But he had no intention of fighting for the crown.
Indeed. Can you slaves even imagine how that looked to the rest of us? Enduring the whims of an ambitionless lord, all we could do was wait for the end as we suffered through our humiliation.
You want suffering? Try being Danon for a day.
So you plotted against Lord Dohalim in secret. And when my brother found out...
And I would do it all again if it meant returning Menancia to its rightful state! A realm where Danons are slaves and Renans their masters. It's the natural order.
Enough! Who are you to decide what is natural or rightful, traitor? Miguel, my brother, he dreamed of building a world free of suffering. He gave his life for that dream. And all you've managed to build is a lake of death! You killed my brother! And now you'll die for it! My brother's dead because of you!
Why should I concern myself with the passing of one pathetic slave?
Have you no shame?
Careful!
You're
He has
mine!
some kind of camouflage! Mega ray! Go for the weak point! Hope this works! You alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Dragon Swirl!
Talent Storm! I handle it! Here's a healing!
Wind!
First aid! More for the stockpile!
Luna Rondo! Here I come! You're finished!
Spear! Here's Thunder Field!
Burn!
Freeze
It vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled.
Healing Circle! Dance in the wind!
Here I come!
Air thrust!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Sword!
Lunar corruption!
It's over!
Wait now! By the power of one!
Now you see what I can do!
Annihilation! Here's a healing arm!
Blue escape!
More where that came from!
Double Demon Fang! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Double Demon Fang!
Like that!
Blue escape! Here I can! Lower!
I'm out of ammo!
Dragon Swarm!
Healing arm!
I really owe you one.
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Thunder Ray! Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind! In here! Healing
Ready?
stockpile!
I owe you one.
Thunder! Recover! Light astral energy!
Double Demon Fang!
First aid! I'll be saving this one!
This one's all
Now you
mine!
see what I can do!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm on it!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
I'm on it! Lightning orb! Talon Hurricane!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Here's evil! Thank you. Freeze
Double Demon Fang!
away! Light astral condemned! It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Far enough!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll heal you all! Tempest Wall! Talon Hurricane!
No escape! Not today!
Strike!
Strike!
I really owe you one.
Here I come! It's over! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
It's weakened!
This ends now! I'm on!
Ready and ready! Raging Cascade!
Double Demon Fang!
Swallow dance!
Now I'm in the groove!
Demon Flame!
It's over!
Lightning Orb!
Donut!
Leave it to me! I'll be saving this one! I'll heal you all! Energy! More energy! Healing Circle! In here! I'll be saving this one! Eat this!
That Talent Storm!
Tempest! Where are you going? More with that heat!
We've got him on the run!
See what I
Don't
can
get
do!
cocky!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
Talent Storm! Tempest!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Lost my focus!
You're mine!
Astral Arts? That's my cue! Reload!
Shut him down!
I'm out! What's the now I'm in the groove! Wind after energy! Leave the charges to me!
Storm! Burn in hell!
Hip-hop field! Metal Ray! My Astral now!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzelik.
Attaining lordship! Ridiculous! Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzelik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
It can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me. It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Tsar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough. And you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act, as the Lord of Elder Menancia. Go. To Mahag Sar, Ganeth Horrors, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you alright with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renan. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream?
What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Danans who overpowered Kelzelik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renans?
Indeed. A militia made up of Danan guardsmen, Renan supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Danans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, if I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Danans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Danan dissidents, side by side with a Renan lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her.
Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Nagal entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldament and Sea Guard. So, in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense, enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Gotta break through! Turbo Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! You're finished!
If they rush
Come
you,
one,
you
come
gotta jump
all.
for cover, okay?
Here I come! Now! Here I come! It's over!
I'm ready.
Dragon Swarm! Red
Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go! Freeze Lancer!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo! Hoo hoo hoo. Look, Hootle! One of your buddies! Hoo! one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Poseidon! One more!
You're mine! First strike!
Raging Cascade!
Talon Hurricane! Double Demon Fang!
Now!
Quiver Dragon!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
We won that by a mile!
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Hey, what do you think about that spot?
Good idea. I'll go for that one. Ha! Reel it in. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
That went pretty well.
Yeah! Is this what I think it is? I did it! But I'm not gonna quit now.
You tamed a real beast.
Wouldn't it be easier to simply use astral arts to catch the fish and be done with it?
That misses the whole point of going out to fish. There we go. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
We finally made it.
I think Hoodle senses something.
That thing looks like trouble.
Quite. I doubt we'd fare well against it.
Bad feeling about this.
Can't get here!
I'll bring you back from death to
I've let you all
As if the
down.
normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Concentration! Resuscitation!
This can't be happening.
You'll pay for that!
This is a win! Sleep now. Let's get you all tucked away. Shining Supernova! More where that came from. Raging Storm!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Lightning Raging Cascade! Seal! This'll come in handy. Shining Super... I'm... sorry.
I'm not done yet!
We should be able to cook here.
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us? We got the advantage.
Good. Now we just have to make sure we keep it.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle? Hi, Hoodle!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll tear you apart!
Reload!
Looks like it could be worth something.
You guys want to rest here?
I need something to eat.
Yikes! Don't make eye contact with it! Ow! You made quick work of them!
Want me to pick up your...
Just pointing it out!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Over
Woohoo!
so soon?
Woohoo!
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies! Woo!
We've reached our destination.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. Do you mind watching our camp tonight? Shall we get moving? Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
In a vine?
You're mine! You're finished!
Flying freaks!
See them! Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Come and face me! Severing wind! Take this! Stunner!
Target down!
Wind! Stunner! Lunar Rondo!
Come on, roll now! Mega Ray!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
We can really make weapons with this? This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. All right.
There's nowhere to run from my art. When he slows down, that's our chance.
It's
No
like trying to
further.
keep up with a wall.
Strike!
Gemini Ultimate Astral Energy!
You require a hand.
Mega Red! Blazing Cascade! In here!
I'm on it!
Searing Flame!
What's this?
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the coverage to me.
Here I come!
Thunder Field! Blazing Cascade!
Shouldn't have messed with me.
Dragon Sword!
Sleep now! This'll come in handy!
Dragon Sword!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade. See that?
That training's paying off!
Mega Red! Astral
Double Demon Fang!
Do it! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Dispose of the trash.
Take this! Eat it! Here I come! I'll run you through! It's over!
Here's the flame of fury!
Dragon
Let's finish
Ball!
the rule of the art!
Damn it!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Win!
Ready to go!
Lunar Rongo! Here I come!
Raging storm!
I can carve through armor.
Come on, take this! You're done!
I'll tear you apart.
Now, Law, get toasty!
Burn strike.
Right, next one.
Already on.
Not my watch. Freeze laser!
Double Demon Fang!
Now, Rizzo, astral energy, full throttle! One more! Steel Sword, reload! Banana, let's go!
Double Demon Fang!
Lunar corruption!
Eat this! Dragon
Lightning
Claw!
tear you apart! Annihilation blade!
Hey, blow them away.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Right, here goes! Lunar Rongo!
Steering flame! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! I move so good with airborne targets! Here's the evil! Lightning down!
Got fires!
I've got this! Let 'em marksman!
All yours!
Here's a healing arc!
Here I come! Okay, here I go! Double Demon
We
Fang!
are freaking invincible.
Alvin and the others truly are strong! What about me? Freeze Lancer! Do it! Get toasty!
Burn strike.
That's quite the technique.
You need me? I'm there.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sort of...
Little help!
No further! I'm on it!
Don't mind if I do!
You're mine!
Wind astral energy!
Dragon Sword!
I never miss!
Do it! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
What's this?
Double Demon Fang!
Astral energy!
Ignite!
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Do it!
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
There's more where that came from. Sealed!
Double Demon
They got me
Fang!
flanked.
Dragon Sword!
Dance. Shattering pieces. Attack time. I'll tear you
I
apart.
never miss!
Double Demon Fang!
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Here I go! Storm!
This one's all mine! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Raging
Now I'm in the groove.
Take this!
In here!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Lightning!
Prepare to be...
Could have been worse.
out of this!
Dragon show! Into the shadows! Raging storm!
Ignite mine! I'll take you all on! Dragon
Armor won't save you!
Raging cascade!
Double
Healing
demon
soul!
fang!
Now!
I really love you.
This one's got your name on it!
To action!
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
Milk is place here!
Dragon form! Double demon
I
fang!
never miss!
Now! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Glacial spear! Fierce evil!
Fantastic! Great! Amazing!
Shut up, Raw, and
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm even stronger than before.
looks like some solid equipment. More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
I have a bad feeling about this.
They're surrounding us! Dragon Annihilation!
Not today!
Lightning
This one's all mine!
Confiscated!
Do it! Swallow double demon fang!
We're on a roll now!
Dragon swarm!
Champion Swirl!
Double demon fang! You're mine! Burn!
I'm on it! Do it!
Burning Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Dragon swarm! Severing wind!
Take that!
Here I come!
To the wind! Lightning! Air thrust! Watson!
Severing wind!
Swallow dance!
Sweet dream!
Eat that!
So those are Danon after
That's
all.
my cue! Something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Arc Shield! Lunar Corruption! By the
You're
power
mine!
of water!
It's over! Double demon!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
So still a house, in a sense. Just for a god.
Way.
Double demon fang! Dragon roar! Double demon fang! This one's all mine! No escape!
Watch this! Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Gotta break through! You picked the wrong fight!
You're done!
Double demon fang!
Here's the evil! Dance in the wind!
Blow away!
Now! Shield!
We're in good form!
Pow! I never miss! Rocket show! Not in your dreams! Raging storm! More with lightning
Now you
from...
see what I can do!
Dragon
One
Swarm!
Mega Ray!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
I'm surrounded!
Here I come!
Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you
Take
continue
this.
on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Double Demon Fang!
Eat this! Talon Hurricane! Eagle
Wait,
Fly!
Astral Energy!
This time!
Well! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
I still got a ways to go! The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen. I think Hoodle's hungry.
Funny. I could have sworn that was your stomach making all the racket.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
This won't be easy.
Double Demon Fang!
Don't be such a pessimist.
Ignite! Lightning Air!
Glacier
I'm on it! Come and get it! You're mine! I'll take you all on!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
It sounds like a job for yours truly. One more. First strike.
We've turned the tables on.
There are still...
Blow them away!
Lightning condensed.
Strike! Demon Fang! Dragon Shout!
It hears evil.
Wind!
Freeze Lancer.
Luno Rondo!
Light Astro. Do it. Lightning condensed.
Swallow Dance!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best. Go no further!
Double Demon Fang!
Don't mind if I do.
I'm on it! Huh? You picked the wrong fight!
Alright, it's showtime!
Double Demon Fang!
Freaking jump it! Here, let me help. Lark, get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one. Already on!
Dragon Swarm! Here I come!
Try this on for size!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
I'll finish you with
Art expert coming through! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
Don't mind if I do. Raging storm! Up and at 'em!
Double Demon Fang!
The tide of battle has turned. That's the power of
Do it!
comrades in arms.
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Lightning condemned! Mega Ray!
Eat
Thunder
this!
Blade!
Dragon
Oh,
Swarm!
it's you!
Now!
Dohalim! All yours, Kisara!
Well, looky here!
There. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it? No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire. Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Take it!
First strike!
Lightning condense!
Take this!
Thunderblade!
Die.
Lunar corruption!
Enjoy.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
Speed's unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Not today!
It's weakened!
Double Demon Fang! This ends now!
Here we go again.
Double Demon Fang!
I can carve through armor.
Take this!
I'll heal you all! Healing circle! Lightning dance! Thunderblade!
Did you just hear me?
Yes. I need you, remember?
Right.
Double Demon
Here I
Fang!
go.
Dragon Swarm!
That frickin' does it. You're such a failure.
You'll pay for that!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
It's time.
Take this.
A great lightning sword! Lightning!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen,
Shion!
thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renan district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renan astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.